reviewing for the chapter over Conics test. It doesn't really have a chapter number, but we need to be ready for that test, starting with looking at some parabola equations. We have y equals equations are going to give you a upward or downward opening, right? So that because this is y equals, we know it's going to be up, down. Okay, we then have to figure out if it is up or down. So using that generic formula, our a value is always out in front here. So we have an a value of 2. Because the a value is positive, that means we will get a happy, smiley, upward opening parabola. H and x go together. If it's in parentheses, the value for either h or k is going to be opposite. So our h value is in there with inside the parentheses with x, and since it is in parentheses, it is opposite. And then our k value is outside parentheses, so whatever symbol is with it is the symbol that will stick with it. That h comma k is going to be important throughout the entire chapter. In this case, it is the vertex of our parabola, but it would be the center point of either a circle or an ellipse. X equals equations, those are ones that go side to side, right? So it might look like this or that. So we know because it's x equal, it's left or right, has a positive a value, so it is going to open to the right. H and k are flip-flopped in these x equal equations. Y and k go together, so our k value is inside the parentheses, so it is opposite. Our h value is outside of the parentheses, so it is the positive 4 because that's what it shows in our equation. So this would have a vertex then at 4 comma negative 1. Looking at number 3, we're going to graph some parabolas here in the next two. We have a y equals equation, so we are going to have an upward or downward facing or opening parabola. My a value is negative 3. So because it is negative, it's going to be a downward opening, frowny, negative parabola. X and h go together in the parentheses. K is by itself. So I have a vertex here at negative 2 comma 1 that I can graph. If you wanted to get the rest of this data for your table here, you could use either Desmos or your TI calculator to get that data. We're just going to do a quick sketch for our purposes on this test. It's not top secret though, you. All right, I'm going to do a video, so stop yapping. For number 4, it's an x equal equation, which tells me it's going to open left to right. I have an a value of 1, right? If there's no coefficient out in front, there's a 1 here. H and k are flip-flopped, right? Y is inside the parentheses with k. And my h value is going to be negative 2. Because this is a positive a value, it's going to open to the right. You can always check that in Desmos by typing things in. One thing Desmos will not do, and neither will the TI-83s, is give you a table for an x equals equation. So we have a vertex at 2, negative 4, and it's going to open to the right. Looking at circles for the next 3 problems, we have x and y both in parentheses, So h and k are also in parentheses, so those values are going to be opposite, right? X and h go together, y and k go together. It's important to remember to flip those signs. Also, a common mistake is what we see on the right side of this equation is radius squared. So to find the radius, we need to take the square root. And then for graphing these, I need to see 5 points. So a vertex at 3, -2, and then 5 in all 4 directions from the vertex. Get those plotted. And then a best attempt at a circle. Right? Not a junky attempt, not a diamond, but an attempt at a circle. For 6, we have an h value of 5, a k value here from this 4. So my k value is -4, and the square root of 9 is 3. So I'm going to graph the center, and then 3 in all 4 directions from there. And I do my best to draw a circle. For number 7, writing that equation given the information. So I would start by just setting up kind of the generic formula, right? We have x squared plus y squared equals radius squared. So my radius is 6, so radius squared would be 36. And then these values of h and k, it's h comma k. And so because the generic formula is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared, right? I put the opposite values in. So there is my equation for that circle given that information. Last up, looking at ellipses. Everything is grouped, so it's an intimidating looking equation. Everything here is related to x, and everything here is related to y. So my x, nothing is getting added or subtracted to x. And then my x radius, this is x radius squared. So I'm going to square root these denominators. A -2 for my k value. It's in parentheses, right? So it's going to be the opposite. And then the square root of the 25 is 5. So I graph my center point of 0, -2. And then I need 2 in each direction on the x and 5 in each direction on y. And then I attempt a smooth ellipse. That one's actually pretty good. For number 9, h and k, and then my x radius is square root of 16, y radius is square root of 9. So I graph my center point, -1, 3, and then I graph 4 in each direction on the x-axis or x direction, 3 each direction vertically, and then an attempt to make a smooth ellipse. For the test tomorrow, you will have access to the formula sheet and be able to use that to help you with your test.